It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo. Welcome back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. That is right. We have made it to the Friday. Appreciate you all tapping in. My name is Neal Ruhl. D-Mac Darren McCarty is out of the studio today, and it is with great joy for me to welcome in Jeff Iafrate here to the show. He will be sitting in, and I don't say it with great joy because D-Mac's gone, and I don't say with great joy because I like Jeff, because I do, but that's not why I say with great joy. Jeff, I say with great joy because you are not easy. And so I know that there will be no dumb-ish out here today that I'll have to deal with or anything like that. Jeff, what's popping, man?
Oh, it's going. Listen, I don't have 4 Stanley Cups, but I do have better takes than some of those who sat in the seats. So I'm excited. I'm thankful to be here. Let's get the show going.
All right, we will. We will certainly do that. Remember, you can get involved, too, in our YouTube chat thread. Tap into that. Detroit Dab, our first one in, hits everybody with the what up, though. Also, the Phillies just fired Joe Girardi. Yeah, that's right. I did see that, too. But we got not Sam Flannel today, but in his stead, we have one of the OGs. Fish is here in the sound booth today. Sam Flannel has been designated for assignment. We will see if he clears waivers after that whole Ben Wallace situation yesterday. So we will see how it goes. You know we got Spencer Raxter here on a Friday. What it do, man?
Oh, just living life. I think we're going to record an episode of Heavyweights later. I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah?
Might grab some brewskis, crack them up in the box, feeling good.
I like that's a strong Friday right there.
Oh, yeah. I'm born ready to go, ready to start the weekend off right.
We are ready to go. The Tigers won again. Hey, we talked about 66% clip. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're winning at a 70% clip. I don't know what the magic number is as of yet to clinch the division. Mm-hmm. We'll get the crew to work on that. But the Tigers got it popping, Jeff.
Yeah, they are. And Chris Castellani was on the morning show, and he talked about Chris Fetter and deserving more credit. And I think he's absolutely right. Hired from U of M to be the Tigers pitching coach in 2020. And he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, no Tariq Skubal yesterday, and they still plot a win over the Minnesota Twins. So it was good to see it. But I think, and he said this as well, and I kind of agree with him, I think that series has to be the best series they've played, considering the opponent they're playing. I know the Twins have been playing bad, but still, I'm impressed. It was nice to see it.
What it did is it afforded them some cushion when they lose this series this weekend against the Yankees.
Get ready for the Yankees.
Yeah, because Garrett Cole's going tonight. But see, that's the dynamic, right? When people tell me they're like, "Well, go win 66% of the games." They've won 7 of the last 10, but now they're going to Yankee Stadium. Yep. Now they're going against Garrett Cole. Like those, you don't win those games.
And then after that, they got the White Sox and then the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any easier.
No, it does not.
Right, and you look at the White Sox too, where they're due to start playing good baseball. They are. I mean, at some point, they're going to be playing good baseball. I was stunned to see they're a minus 50 in run differential. They were the odds-on favorite to win the division. I believe a minus 200.
I picked them to win.
Yeah. Well, everybody did.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes to. That's what I don't think people get when they say, "Well, can they turn this around?"
Absolutely. And I got to add this too. I was reading the statistic last night at MLB.com. And I found, and I don't want to, be the bearer of bad news, but currently the Tigers, and this just appalled me. In 51 games, they have 146 runs, and the next is the Pittsburgh Pirates with 174. So they're about 30 in the hole right now. And I know it's not exciting to see that, but again, it just shows you that if this team could get 4 runs a game, what would the record look like? And it's interesting to talk about that.
Somebody in our YouTube chat thread yesterday ran the numbers on that, and I believe they said they'd be like 27 and 23 if they scored 4 runs a game, just based on the results and things like that. So in the YouTube chat thread, people want to know. Steve Brown says, "Let's see how freaky this show gets. Will it top the morning show?"
Nothing will top the morning show, and that's probably in the history. Nothing will ever top the morning show.
So, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have to talk about crazy stuff. You have to talk about smashing people and who I'm gonna have sex with. That's basically what you have to talk about.
Who you're going to have sex with?
No. You got something to say, Fish?
In general, you have to talk about other people doing crazy things. Like, we don't have a girl on this show, so that probably helps us not go off the roads. But,
Whoa! What are you
on.
saying, Fish?
well, I mean, I'm speaking fact. I mean, if there was no girl on the morning show, nothing would go off the rails.
Jack Harrington says D-Mac and Neal are not as messed up. And I can confirm Jeff Iafrate is not as messed up as well.
I can get with that.
I'm pretty messed up. I can take it off the rails.
It's a good
if you really
balance.
Want to go off the rails.
That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah. Rack says Adam said he had a surprise, so we shall see. I think it was that Sam Flannel was designated for assignment.
Yeah, that's after that Ben Wallace take. Now we got Fish in the fish booth.
Poor Sam Flannel.
But, yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, poor for a couple reasons. We missed the Debo Flannel Friday, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, we're not getting that's my bike, punk. We're not getting any of that today.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. Or you're going to go in, I'm going to knock your ass out. Make a choice. We're not getting any of that. And that's kind of sad. To me, that's sad.
You don't get your live reads in order. So,
yeah, I know.
Sorry, it's me today.
Fish just hands me the reads.
Yep.
Like, some of them are upside down, some of them are flipped over,
all that
stuff.
All of them are on one side.
Yeah.
They're on one side.
I mean, that's what you do.
But they just handed, I'm not. I also like French Open tennis. This guy told me not to, so I don't know.
We don't need to revisit that.
No one wants. Yeah,
today, I'll tell you that.
Is the French Open real tennis? They play on clay, dude. You can't even. I don't even know where a clay tennis court is anywhere around here.
I guarantee you, in the chat, they'll tell you that there's several clay tennis courts around Michigan.
I don't think
because
we
there
get
are.
it in
I just don't know where they are, but I guarantee you there are clay courts in Michigan.
Fish, I'm being honest. I have never laid my eyes on a clay court.
Have you? Okay,
haven't.
Have you laid your eyes on any tennis court?
I've laid my eyes on multiple tennis courts.
Okay.
There's tennis courts like across the street from here, man.
Are they hard court?
Oh yeah, they're not clay. I know that. So just Fish.
There
enough,
are clay courts,
bro.
Country clubs have clay courts.
No,
some of them.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Detroit City FC in action this weekend. They are back on the road in Pittsburgh, as we said. The Tigers.
Riverhounds.
Yep. Yeah, that's you already know. The Tigers are in New York taking on the Yankees. The Detroit Grand Prix this weekend.
Yes, it is.
And I wish
You're gonna say some outlandish take about the Grand Prix?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I feel like I missed that somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I like the Grand Prix.
May have.
I worked the Grand Prix multiple years for Andiamo. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. Made a lot of money. But yeah, it's fun. It's loud, really loud. Like I didn't think it was going to be that loud.
Oh yeah.
But
You need earmuffs.
yeah, you definitely do. It's a good time though.
AC Neal, when do you hold Sam accountable for his bad takes like you hold Bad Take Easy accountable? AC, I think maybe you missed maybe you were late to the show. He's been designated for assignment.
Yeah.
He was held accountable.
Maybe, like I said, if he clears waivers, maybe he can work his way back up to the big leagues.
Drop down to the minors.
Yeah, so maybe.
Is he in triple or double A? I think he's in double A. Maybe single A.
If he clears waivers, he will be UFA'd.
Yeah, I think he's in Erie.
If he's lucky.
Erie.
Yeah. So I think that's about as accountable as you can get.
Lansing Lugnuts.
Love a good lug nuts game.
9 Drink said, "Did Sam come to work without a flannel and get fired?"
Well, he got fired with no flannel. This is my flannel.
Yeah, that is it. No, but talking minor league baseball. Oh, by the way, I got my Eastside Diamond Hoppers hat on today from the USPBL out there in Utica. I'll be throwing out the first pitch today.
How will you be throwing out the first pitch?
I'm going, and guys, I'm throwing it submarine style, like Dan Quisenberry. I'm dropping down low, and I'm doing it. And it's all on video. We'll get the video up and post it a little bit later on. I will split the plate. I will fire the submarine style fastball in there for real. There will be no 50 cent.
Nope.
There will be none of that where you throw it over the backstop and into the road and all that stuff.
Or what's his name? Steve Aoki? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, there'll be none of that buffoonery. This is all business.
All business. It's a business trip.
Right.
Just to go out there and pitch.
Just to drop down.
Yeah. Now you can book it.
Yeah.
This might be a bad take. Is throwing a baseball any different than throwing a football?
Yes.
Is a clay tennis court any different than a cement one?
No, but how you're throwing it. Like, you know how to throw a ball. Yes, it's different in terms of how you hold the ball, but in terms of throwing it. Like, a quarterback should be able to throw a strike in baseball, no?
I mean, a quarterback should be... Yeah, you would think so.
Because there's been multiple quarterbacks who throw first pitches and they are awful.
Where?
Baseball, look it up. Didn't Russell Wilson have a bad first pitch?
He brings something up. Hold on.
Didn't Russell Wilson have a bad first pitch?
He brings something up and tells me to look it up.
Yeah, he's got no juice.
You brought it up. How about you go look it up?
I will.
People aren't getting a good vibe here in the YouTube chat thread.
Why is
Chuck
that?
Brewer, Neal, don't even. Chuck says, Neal, just walk away from this, please. Stick radio. Stick, our guy Stick. Fish is out here smashing. That is true.
That is true.
Yeah, fish.
Smashing water.
Fish smashes.
The Diamond Hoppers hat getting some love as well. FJ 1967, Neal rocking the Hoppers lid. Yeah, absolutely. That's of the USPBL. That's my favorite logo. I like the frog eyes above the baseball. I think that's pretty sweet. So yeah, we got all that. And Jeff, you're in the building here today, so certainly we're going to talk a little bit of basketball as well. The NBA Finals last night. When we come back, I do want to discuss it. I'm not, we'll lose the audience if I sit there and do a deep dive on it.
Right.
But
we'll skim it.
Yeah, we will. We'll skim it. I thought it was pretty interesting, especially the way that we hyped up Draymond Green on the show yesterday. And then it was a stink bomb. Dude, what was your guy doing jacking up that three at the end of the game?
Hey, man, it's all they... What were they doing in the fourth quarter? The Warriors couldn't do anything in the fourth quarter.
Celtics were living with every shot Draymond took.
Yeah, Al Horford's out there looking like Ray Allen, just draining threes. It is what it is.
They were 9 for 10 from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, awful.
Al Horford had 6 threes. 6. Couldn't believe
Oh,
Balling
man.
out there.
Yep, absolutely. Rack, at least Sam Flannel comes up with facts to back up his bad take. So, we got a lot of that. Chuck Brewer says Golden State forgot there was a fourth quarter. But yeah, so, we'll get into that a little bit. Certainly some Pistons discussion. Our guy Spencer had a thing. And I think that the sentiment certainly is a kind of way. I'm curious to get Jeff's take on it because I haven't discussed this with them. So I'm curious. This whole DeAndre Ayton thing, it's getting more wheels, isn't it? It's getting more life.
I don't like it. I mean, I wouldn't mind them signing him, just flat out signing him, but not signing trade.
God, no.
Well, all right. Well, we'll discuss all of it when we come back from the break. But right now, people are saying that, oh, no, Adam is watching. It's a menacing.
Adam always watches.
No, but he's like there.
But he's always there. When you don't think he's there, he's there.
Even spiritually,
yeah,
he's there.
He's there.
Yeah. Rack. An Adam sighting. Here comes the show derailment.
Oh yes, that's why we love the morning show.
Notice how he's not even.
He,
he was on camera for a second, talking to Spencer about something because stuff happens, behind the scenes. We still got a business to run and everything. His presence derails. He doesn't have to say anything. Yeah. Oh, look at there he is right there.
Yeah, he just looks at you.
Adam Cam.
Adam Cam.
Oh man. 9 Drinks wants to know, are you here to surprise someone, Adam?
Ooh. Turn that mic on.
No? The people want to know, Adam.
I have no surprises.
Why you lurking, man?
No, I just got to make sure things are going right. Make sure Spencer's hitting the right buttons. Flannel no longer pressing buttons on this network.
Ouch.
That had to happen.
Ouch.
You can't work here and think Ben Wallace is not a Hall of Famer. So
you get...
These are some of the policies we have in place. I'm sorry. This is a business. At the end of the day, you have to follow rules.
To answer AC's question, they said, how come you don't hold Sam Flannel accountable for his bad takes like you do Easy?
Just did.
I would say Sam Flannel paid the ultimate price.
Flannel paid the ultimate price, and if Easy continues on his ways, he's probably next.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we don't accept BS takes. You can have an opinion, that's fine. But when it comes to Ben Wallace, he's a Hall of Famer, and this is a Detroit Sports Network. So
no Ben Wallace or Joe Dumars slander. That might be why I'm in this chair as well.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Well, hey, here's a take everybody agrees on. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, the strawberry pancakes, and Spencer's favorite, the strawberry waffle. He'll knock down a couple of them in a sitting. He doesn't care. He feels that way about Strawberry Fest. If you're not feeling breakfast, try the new strawberry bacon wrap, the crispy chicken wrap, the nacho wrap, or the strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. Don't forget to grab dessert. Let's be real, people. This is the main part of this pitch right here for Strawberry Fest for Big Boy. The strawberry pie, a slice of it's only $1.99 with a purchase of $7.99 or more at a participating Big Boy location. Don't be economically irresponsible. All right? if you're going there to eat and you can get a slice of strawberry pie for $1.99, you're going to do it. And if you don't do it, then maybe you and I can't be friends. The Strawberry Fest at Big Boy at your participating Big Boy locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are off and running. We have Jeff Iafrate in for D-Mac. My name is Neal Ruhl. We got Fish here in for Sam Flannel.
I think Adam's influencing me. I really do. I think Adam influences me.
We got Spencer Raxter here in the building. Adam is lurking also. And look, King Yehuda on our YouTube chat thread says Ben Wallace is not a Hall of Famer. Facts.
Oh, wow.
And this thing took off on social media yesterday.
Yeah, it blew up.
Yeah, I mean, it did. Sam Flannel was directly in the crosshairs. And you know what? In a weird way, while his take is trash, in a weird way, I have to commend Sam Flannel.
Me too.
For maybe dying on the cross for his beliefs.
Wow. And I got to say, Neal, I pulled the trigger. I posted the clip. So to Sam Flannel,
did you like put a cigarette out as you push the enter button?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah. Told him, surprise, mother. Hit that button. And you know what though? I got to give credit. It's not about the take. It's about how you defend the take. And Sam sure did defend it. So regardless of whether we disagree or agree.
Imagine saying a 4-time defensive player of the year is not all
because of his
offense.
That's ridiculous. Doesn't acknowledge what he did defensively, but we'll talk about it.
You know,
another
Neal,
time.
I know you have a public reputation to uphold,
Yeah.
and I really don't, so I don't care. So
Right.
And here
what was the
goes
individual?
Neal.
What was his name?
Who's that?
The individual, King Yehuda?
King Yoda, Yehuda?
Something like that, yeah.
King Yehuda.
I've already moved on.
All right, King Yehuda's a dumb bitch. So I'll say it for you, because I know you want to say it, but you won't. So I'll just say it for you. And
Welcome to Adam,
I'll leave you guys
everybody.
with that. Have a great show.
He's going to walk out of that. Okay.
Mic drop.
Jack Harrington says, Neal, did you know that Crystal with an X is Adam's daughter? We'll try to get that confirmed. we will try to get that confirmed. Hey, Jack, just so you know, that one popped at him pretty good. Yeah. He got a laugh out of that, though. No, but hey, we're having a good time here on a Friday. We're cutting loose a little bit. Did want to touch on the NBA Finals. I don't know how much of you watched the game yesterday. Golden State at one time had an 80-66 lead. Boston made 9 of 10 three-pointers in the fourth quarter. And, right away, and the networks I'm talking about, they started with, right across the screen today when I'm working out at the Planet Fitness here, live from the Planet Fitness studios. When I'm looking up on the treadmill at the screen, I see, is it time for the Warriors to panic? And, Jeff, you're a basketball dude.
Yeah.
And I think you understand this a little better than most, because my thought is exactly the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Look what it took for Boston to win. They will never repeat that.
Yep. And that you're absolutely correct. Another thing is, too, the Phoenix Suns were up 2-0 last year. People forget that as well. So it's not about game one. I understand it is. You're at the Warriors' home. They're undefeated in the playoffs so far. You have a Boston team who has won in opponents' home arenas. But again, it was about that fourth quarter. And it was about Derek White and Al Horford, two people at times who have struggled, but last night looked like they couldn't hit nothing but the bottom of the rim. So like you said, can you repeat that? I don't think so. But we'll see. It's a great series to watch, nonetheless.
And Johnny says the Celtics defense clamped down in the fourth quarter. And for me, it was, it was one of those things. I didn't necessarily like the substitution pad. There were moments, stretches of that game where the Golden State Warriors had a plain fall off. And look, the reason for that happening is, I don't want to say Klay Thompson was ineffective, but he wasn't what he typically was.
Right.
And so if you're Steve Kerr and you're in a situation where you have to take Steph out, it seemed like every time Steph came off the floor, the run came for Boston.
Yep.
Every single time. And Golden State thought that they landed their knockout blow, I think. I think they legitimately thought that. But they left him breathing. They left the body breathing. And Boston, obviously, it took a monumental fourth quarter comeback where they shot ridiculously that they'll never do again. But still, at the same time, I do have concerns about Golden State's second unit in relation to Boston's second unit.
Yeah, and I agree with you as well. I think one thing with the Warriors, and they realize with the Celtics defense, they can switch every position, and they're going to make you take tough shots. That's why when Steph Curry was in the game, they went on a run in the first quarter. What do you have, like 6 threes in the first quarter? It's ridiculous. And the Celtics now down the stretch, they weren't hitting those shots. Steph Curry had 0 points in the second quarter, and after that, in the fourth quarter, Al Horford and Derek White showed up. So with this Boston team, we knew what they were going to be defensively. We didn't think I'd see that offensively, especially with no finals experience on this roster. And then Al Horford comes out and shoots 6 threes. You just can't game plan for that. That's not on the game plan sheet. You're seeing Al Horford as a shooter, and they jacked up a whole lot of threes. I think it was the most threes made in the finals ever. I believe, in a finals game. It was like over, especially in the first, quarter or two. So I think it's going to be a great finals. I still got Warriors in 6. I'm not too concerned. I think they'll win next game. If you want to bet, I would guarantee a Warriors victory game 2.
Ooh.
But we'll see.
You're calling it, huh?
Calling it, yeah. I'm calling it.
To get right.
Get right, you got to. But even if they go down 0-2, I mean, the Suns were up 2-0 last year, guys. Don't forget it.
They were.
I did forget that,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact.
I was going to say, a lot of people do forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did forget that. I just don't... Boston. They do seem to be the people's champion. As you scroll through the YouTube chat thread in here,
yeah,
Boston seems to be the people's champion.
Yeah, but you know why that is, because people don't like the Warriors because of how good they are, and some people like to say that they didn't build their team from the draft. That they're
then explain to me how they did it.
Well, a lot of people think it was the same thing as the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. A lot of people think they just recruited their guys, like Kevin Durant.
And who else?
I mean, that's basically it. But they'll say that they recruited Draymond Green
they drafted him.
And Klay Thompson.
They drafted him.
I know that, but other people
do not. They drafted Steph.
Other people do not.
Developed him.
Yeah,
right.
Other people do not.
I don't understand that take, but I also don't understand the take of are people in this town like really rooting for the Celtics? Have you guys noticed that? Like the shows you do and stuff?
I wouldn't mind seeing the Celtics win because I like Jason Tatum a lot. I really like Jason Tatum. So him getting a chip would be cool, even though I don't want the Celtics as a franchise to prosper. I know.
Well, you can't have both, Spencer. It's either or.
I know. But it wouldn't make me mad. I wouldn't be actively rooting against them. I want the Warriors to win because of my boy Draymond, but I wouldn't be mad if the Celtics won.
And I was going to say, Draymond Green definitely has a pull. Like most Michigan fans, I would say, are rooting for Boston. Most State fans are probably rooting for Golden State.
Well, Jordan Poole's on Michigan, too, so I think that Michigan fans want...
Yeah, but
Jordan
most
Poole
people hate Draymond Green more than they like Jordan Poole.
That's fair.
Let's take it to the poll, shall we? Are you rooting for the Celtics? Are you? I want it. Can we word it this way too? Are you Detroit fans rooting for the Boston Celtics?
But as a franchise, or just because
no. Are you rooting for the Boston Celtics?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a way to
Got
answer.
If given a choice, who would you want to win? Are Detroit fans really rooting for the Boston Celtics? I have a hard time wrapping my head around that.
Yeah, I do as well. One thing that pisses me off about the Boston Celtics is they have 17 titles, and I believe they won most of those before Nixon. So at the same time, this is a team I've always hated. So you know what? I don't see how you can actually root for the Celtics. I get it's a new champion, but doesn't take away the historic value of the Celtics. And as a Pistons fan, I hate their guts. So we'll leave it at that.
Jake Wegener says, I'm a Michigan fan and a Draymond fan. And
okay.
That I can respect because there is a segment of people that are Detroit fans that are Michigan fans. That will root for Michigan, that will root for Michigan State. They'll use
the state of Michigan.
The state of Michigan,
college,
right.
Yep.
If Central's in a bowl game, they'll flip on the Bahamas Bowl or the Boca Raton Bowl. And they'll root for them against Western Kentucky. They'll do
Bailey
that.
Zappi.
Right, they'll root for them, or Eastern Michigan when they play Liberty in that random bowl in Alabama. They'll do that.
The Dick's Mayo Bowl.
Yeah,
Classic.
love that bowl.
That seems a little too.
Where they splash mayo on the winning coach.
That's so gross.
Love it.
Chuck says, I'm not rooting for either, but don't mind Celtics fans. And Epic says they're the Canadians of the NBA. See, that's a great take.
Wow.
I hate the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I hate them with every fiber of my being. They were my first hate. You talk about like,
hate.
Yeah, I am the Silky Johnson.
Buck Nasty
Oh,
of the
absolutely.
Boston Celtics.
I mean, I will speak at the player haters ball when it comes down to the Boston Celtics edition. I hate their existence. Yeah. I hate their colors. I hate Larry Bird. Hate.
And I hate that steal on Isaiah Thomas.
I hate.
We can go back and talk about
the
it.
steal against Isaiah. I hate the Boston Celtics. I hate them.
Wow. A lot of hatred
And that's
for Boston.
fair. Does anybody disagree? Fish, what's up, Fish?
I don't disagree. It's the same with, let's go to hockey, Colorado Avalanche. We had that big rivalry, Detroit Red Wings against the Avalanche. Some people are actually rooting for the Avalanche to win their series against the Oilers. Is that kind of not the same thing?
It is very similar. I think that is very similar.
Yeah,
And I don't think
deep-rooted
Red
hatred?
Wing fans are getting pissed at you for rooting on the Avalanche. They're not like, Neal, you're rooting for the Avalanche? Screw you.
I'm not rooting for the Avalanche.
Well,
I'm rooting for McJesus.
well,
he just doesn't have the arsenal
Well, everyone
to
is
beat
go
Colorado.
Oilers. How do you not go Canada? But most people,
Boo
or some
Canada.
people, are rooting for Colorado. Uh-oh. Do we have something going on here with Canada?
Rob Coddington, Neal, was Travis Bader a part of Golden State at one point in time? No, they had Keith Benson, a former Oakland great, was with Golden State for a season.
Go Grizzlies.
Gregory says Poole has more pull than you all are giving him credit for, which I don't get what that means. Like you turn like in terms of a draw, like people rooting for.
Yeah, they're saying the state of Michigan.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Draymond's mine. I mean, personally, if
Yeah,
we're
I was
talking
gonna
about
say,
guys from Michigan,
Draymond is probably
that's a
bigger pull than
big reason
anyone.
why I hope he gets another one. But yeah, Jordan Poole can be added in that equation as well.
Rob J says I'm not a Draymond fan, but he does play hard, and so like that's where it is. Scott Klingler says I want Boston to win. And here, Penn Wright says, I'm rooting for Golden State. I hate the Celtics.
There we go.
Like it's on. Looking back on it, especially as a kid, now I've softened a little as I've got older and had kids of my own and stuff like that.
Right.
But when I was a kid, man, and even now, like I detest the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. You just get
Detest
triggered
them.
when you lay your eyes on green at all. That
Well,
Boston green.
it was just like like they never lost at home, and they were like 39-2 every year at home, or 40-1 every year in the '80s at home, and always some weird. It was like the Twins in the Metrodome. Like weird stuff always happened, and they always escaped every single time, and they got every call all the time.
True.
Every shot went in, like you saw last night. They might be the luckiest franchise in sports.
Yeah, it's that leprechaun. I swear to God, it is.
Luck of the
Last night
Irish.
in that fourth quarter. Perfect example of that, by the way. But yeah, I mean, my Celtics hate has been rooted. I mean, listen, even back to the big three with Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. I still don't really like Paul Pierce. I don't know why. I
looks
just
like a
never really
gerbil.
was. Not a big Paul Pierce guy. I love Ray Allen. Love KG. It's never like Paul Pierce.
But here's the difference. Like Ray Allen's identifiable moments weren't with the Celtics,
Right.
I feel.
Right. No, you're right.
Like I actually have a Ray Allen throwback Bucks jersey.
Ooh,
And
I like that.
yeah, I'll wear it out in the summertime.
Uh-oh,
yeah.
all
That'll
rise.
get some. Oh,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
we have a special guest.
Oh,
All
boy.
rise.
Here to redeem himself.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
on the couch.
Absolutely. Hey,
Ooh-wee.
let me tell you about my bookie, and then we'll introduce our special guest when we come back. The NBA Finals. Midstream, the NHL playoffs, getting down to it. Baseball is here. Your Detroit Tigers, 7 out of their last 10, everybody. Hope you've been making your cash with mybookie.com. If you open up an account today, use the promo code Woodward. They'll match part of your first deposit up to 50% in free bets. They'll give you free bets just for signing up with MyBookie. Again, use a promo code Woodward. There's no better place to lay those bets down than MyBookie. You can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, please, at 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
You know what I need? I need the Tigers to start winning, and they have been 7-3 over the last 10. But you know what else? Big Frog. When you need apparel, there is only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. There is no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround. You can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen painting. Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG. Ribbit.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building. Fish is here as well, updating our YouTube chat poll. Are you Detroit fans rooting for the Boston Celtics? 71% of you say no. So that warms my heart a little bit that only 29% of you are. And there are a lot of you coming to that defense saying, I do hate the Boston Celtics. Some other teams are getting some hate out there as well. Ginga says, is Alavila in the house? No, Alavila has not accepted an opportunity to join the show here.
Well, also one of the people on the morning show, Adam, wouldn't let Alavila within 5 feet of this network, 5 yards, 5 miles of this network.
The Packers getting a lot of hate as well. Rob J says, I hate Green Bay with a passion. Tony D says, I hate 97 won the ticket. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm in DMAC's chair, and he talks a lot about the why. I just need the why on people actually voted yes, you're rooting for the Boston Celtics. I'd love to hear the reason. Is it a player, or are you just, I don't know, an idiot?
We had one in there that said, I think that Boston's the better team, but you can have that take. That's fine. You still don't root for them.
Yeah. If you pick them, I could see why you'd root for them, but...
Detroit Dabber says Boston fans are toxic no matter the sport.
A fact.
Yeah, that is a fact. And speaking of toxic, we had a toxic moment on the show yesterday. And there's been rumor, speculation, and innuendo. Did the network discipline Sam Flannel for that raging hot take yesterday that got thousands of views?
A lot of views on the Twitter.
On social media. The Twitterverse was set ablaze by Sam Flannel and his disdain for Ben Wallace being in the Hall of Fame. We told you that we gave him his release and he had to clear waivers and then he could be an unrestricted free agent. My understanding is someone did put in a claim, so we had to take him off waivers. So here he is in the chair right now. We welcome back in our guy. Sam Flannel is here in the building. Sam, while we have you here, you were the topic of social media yesterday. I believe you were trending. I can't confirm that, but I believe you were. As we're about 24 hours away from the moment, where are you mentally right now? Where are you from a social media perspective? Where is Sam Flannel right now?
Well, I am a little bit disappointed because this is actually my last time being on Big D Energy. I am done with this show. I am going to be just doing the bottom line from 2 to 4 p.m. But I will say this. I'm never going to back down from a take. I'm never going to say something that I don't believe.
There we
and
go.
To me, Ben Wallace is a borderline Hall of Famer at best. Not a slam dunk Hall of Famer. And I didn't really get a chance to defend my argument yesterday. So
go for it now.
If you would. Ben Wallace is one of the worst offensive players I have ever seen. Ben Wallace had a very short peak. It was about 4 or 5 years. And yes, he won some Defensive Player of the Years, 4 in a row. Yes, he was an integral piece of that team. But so was Chauncey, so was Rip, so was Rasheed Wallace, my bad. And they should be in the Hall of Fame before Ben Wallace. They were way better players. And when you look at the best defensive players of all time, you got guys like, Bill Russell, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's another one who is a slam dunk Hall of Famer, even if you guys don't believe it.
Mitch Richmond.
Dennis Rodman even, Rudy Gobert.
Boo, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy
Boo.
Gobert is one of the
Why
best.
don't you like Rudy
He's a
Gobert?
3-time Defensive Player of the Year. But with most of the players that I mentioned, they are all great to elite, all-time elite offensive players. And even with Dennis Rodman is the greatest below-the-rim rebounder ever. Ben Wallace, for his career, averaged 9.6 rebounds per game. Rudy Gobert actually averages efficient double-doubles.
Get him out of here, boys.
Well,
And
Sam,
girls.
it was good working with you. Have fun on the bottom line. He has been reassigned,
Yes,
and the mic has been taken away. And it's literally like live streaming a funeral right now.
Yeah.
Like as you look at the people and their comments right now, I think this is going to be the next thing. This is going to be the future in, I think, funeral entertainment. I guess you could. I want my funeral live streamed. I want people to comment. I want, because people, you can say what you want in a comment thread, right? Because there's going to be no recourse.
Right.
So, as we look at it, and just here we go. Yeah, you guys were great, by the way. You guys were great on this. Detroit Dabber 313, and I'm backing up here to right around the moment that Sam Flannel sat down. Detroit Dabber 313, boo this man. Tammy Chin, Flannel Sam, still wearing the flannel. Donovan
Yes.
Strong, Sam Flannel needs to be removed immediately.
And he was.
And he was. Steve P says, LOL, he's talking about a person that is in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Steve Brown said, well, at least he's borderline now.
Yeah, he did change a little bit from no to borderline.
Johnny says, boo. Rack, well, see you later, Sam.
Nice.
Well, see you later.
I respect Sam for coming in here and just digging a deeper grave. I mean, that.
But did he, though?
Listen,
Did he?
What he said about his argument for him not being in the Hall of Fame, if you bring up him on the offensive side of the ball, I just don't think that's a fair argument. You make that Basketball Hall of Fame for being good at what you're good at, and he's one of the most dominant defensive players of all time, I think, for his size especially. I just don't think factoring in offense has anything to do with making it into the basket. I mean, Dennis Rodman, you think he'll make the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah,
want to
sure.
come back here and make a case for him not being in the Hall of Fame as well?
Yeah, on top of that.
Well, I think he's detained. I don't think he can
He's-
move.
He said that Ben Wallace wasn't as big of a factor on the team as Rasheed Wallace
ridiculous.
or
But he
Tayshaun
said
Prince.
offensively. He did
And-
say
No, he said
offensively.
a factor on the team, Fish. And
you know what?
I think Ben Wallace is the second biggest factor on that going to work Pistons team.
See, but I would contend that Rasheed Wallace was the one that put it over the top. So
Yeah,
I know
but-
we're splitting hairs a
But
little bit
without
here.
Ben Wallace, they would have been way lacking, way
Right.
more lacking
Yeah.
than without Rasheed.
But without
Wallace.
Rasheed, they wouldn't have got over the top.
Yeah, that's,
So,
but they
I
wouldn't
mean-
have been near the top without Ben.
We're splitting hairs a
Yeah,
little bit.
and the same like what Jeff was saying. Rudy Gobert has just as terrible of an offensive game as Ben Wallace. If Ben Wallace was 7 foot tall,
Right.
he'd be better than Rudy Gobert offensively. Dennis Rodman has just as bad of an offensive game as Ben Wallace. It's this guy's defensive stalwart, whatever, however you say that.
Stalwart?
Word. Stalwart.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Star Wars?
Star Wars. Yeah, he's a defensive Star Wars. He's one of the best defensive players
Can we please?
of all time.
Can we please get that clip?
Yeah, that would be-
I can't.
That's the only clip I want from the show
How do
today.
you stalwart? Is that it? Stalwart? Okay. Yeah, he's a great defensive player. We'll just put it at that. One of the best of all time. And you can't have arguably the best defensive player in the history of the NBA not be in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Continuing the people's opinions on our YouTube chat poll, Cody Engel says he ain't lying, and there are a couple out there.
But
There
I
are
have to,
a couple.
I have
a
to say
handful,
this
though.
too. With the Basketball Hall of Fame, and we've always said this, I expect more out of them. I expect them to, at least have the best of the best, and not let. It seems they're letting everybody in. Draymond Green's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'll let you know that now. Sam even said it. But it's when you accept that. And you don't have to, dictate who goes in, who goes out. If you're great at something, especially as good as Ben Wallace was, yes, you can judge him for what he was doing offensively, but I just don't think that matters. I really don't.
Even Tammy Chin chimed in and said, "Oh my, Sam."
That's all.
And I think that's the most cutting
That is.
comment that I've read since I've signed on at Woodward Sports Network. Like that. How does that not just take the air out of your lungs?
Right.
Yeah, like that's gut.
That's a gut blow right
Left
there.
him like,
I
get
mean,
outta here.
that staggers you.
And Ben Wallace got us Cade Cunningham.
He did.
That's true.
That is true.
And then Rip got us the 5th pick.
CJ Schneider says brutal is an understatement. Chef Chris Smith says, what? Donovan Strong, he probably never watched a game from the Ben Wallace era. Doug Fungus, this is the best defensive player in NBA history.
The guy's name is Doug Fungus.
And that's the problem when people look up stats and want to evaluate a player just looking at their statistics. Like, if you watch Ben Wallace and what he was able to do at his size, I think that alone, if Sam was there in person, you drop him in 2004, and he could watch Ben Wallace that entire season, I think he'd come back and be like, you know what?
He may have been watching Ben Wallace that season. You don't know.
What do you mean he didn't watch? How old was Sam? He's probably my age.
No, he's 30, I think.
Yeah, he's older
Yeah,
than
he's
us.
older than you think.
So what would he be? So I would be 5, he'd be 10? I mean, what? Like, what's the...
Yeah.
We're splitting hairs here. Yeah,
we're
we're
splitting hairs.
hairs.
I mean, it's...
Chuck Brewer said, "Oh my God, I'm done." So, you know,
And I think he's kind of evaluating Ben Wallace on today's era of basketball, to where you need to score points, you need all positions to score points. You're getting 130-point games. Back then, the Pistons were holding teams to 70 points.
in the 60s sometimes.
60 points. Like, you wouldn't do that without Ben Wallace. You wouldn't do that in today's era, but it was a different era of basketball, and offensive game from a center wasn't as needed as, you know, being a defensive Star Wars.
I'll give you one, Clint Capella. I mean, he's putting up 16 points off lobs and 2 feet dunks. I think Ben Wallace could get double digits if he played in today's NBA. That's the pace of the game. And I think if he plays with especially the right team, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
He's 6'9". Like, if he was 7 foot tall, he would be by far the best defender in the history of the NBA. Hands down, no questions asked. He's already the best defender in the history of the NBA, and he was a 6'9" center going up against the prime era of centers in the NBA. Like, this is when these guys were getting the ball every possession, getting a touch in the paint every possession, and Ben Wallace was down there saying, "No, sorry, you're not scoring." Like, he was shutting people down. It's like, sorry, fired up.
Tammy Chin says the chat family is turning on Flannel Sam. And that is the case. And that was, as he said, he's going to the bottom line now. You can't come in here and talk stupid like that. You see what happens to you. Notice how Jeff Iafrate's in the chair today. Not easy.
Yeah.
We're not having it, guys.
At least my bad take, I was just thirsty. I knew it wasn't going to happen, you know. I was just quarterback.
What was your bad take?
Malik Willis.
Yeah,
but I was just thirsty. I prefaced, I knew they weren't going to take
But there
him.
were several people that said Malik Willis was going to the Lions at number 2.
No, I said I knew they weren't going to take him, but I wanted him because I was thirsty for a quarterback. And he's gonna win that starting job in Tennessee. Just watch.
Oh, yeah.
Spencer did say that. I'm a witness.
And he's going to throw dimes, and all the Lion fans are going to cry. You're going to see a few of them cry.
There is nobody in this world more thirsty for anything than Spencer Raxter is for Malik Willis to start a game in the NFL next year.
Facts.
You may go to the game.
I would probably go to the game. Honestly, I might go to the
we would need that video cut. Just live stream it all.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a Jared Goff jersey and wear it to that game. No, I can't even do that. I can't say that with a straight face.
Oh, my God.
Jared Goff jersey.
I love it. CJ Schneider, DFA Sam now. Yeah, absolutely. He's, that's it.
Well, see you later.
Hey, it happens, man. There are consequences to your actions. And Sam Flannel, hey, we wish him the best. I'll give him the corporate. We wish him the best. We wish him good luck in his future endeavors and appreciate his service to Big D Energy. Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness for $0 down and $10 a month. That will get you access to your home Planet Fitness club. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. Over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world. Get yourself a black card, less than $1 per day, and you have access to all 2,000 plus Planet Fitnesses around the world with unlimited guest privileges, use of all the amenities, and all of that as well. You can join in club today. You're going to pass 2 of them on the way home. Just pull up in there, sign up right there. You are good to go. Feeling really motivated? Go to planetfitness.com. Sign up there as well. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
It's Friday! Scott from Woodward Bets. Hey, I'm doing nothing but counting all my winnings from yesterday. We tried to tell you about the Celtics, but listen, we're also trying to tell you about oddstrader.com. You got to get over to the App Store and download it today. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books. But listen, we got to get into making us some money. So today, I'm rolling with the New York Rangers at home, again, to go up 2-0 over at Tampa Bay. Oddstrader.com, Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
If anybody has the guts to hate on Joe Dumars and Ben Wallace, they got the job done. I'll say that. You know who else gets the job done? Alta Equipment Company. Our friends at Alta Equipment know that when it comes to getting the job done on a budget and on schedule, uptime matters. Alta Equipment Services, all makes and models. Their technicians are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you have a big project coming up? Alta Rents has you covered. Give them a call, 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Some people are going to accuse me of just pushing the easy button stuff today, but these things happen organic. We had a sheet like we always do. Multiple pages, but here we are.
Yep.
This is what it devolves into. Number 1, redo the Ben Wallace stuff.
Yep.
And there, everybody does it. And then organically, I didn't order this. Now the Malik Willis thing.
Yeah.
All over again. Run it back. You got our guys. You got our guy's stick. Malik Willis, no matter what.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
We're getting sucked back in.
Here in Mark M says Goff will clinch that thirst, my guy.
Goff's like a Dasani water.
Oh, God.
Goff is like drinking a Dasani water. I don't want that.
Oh, boy.
It's like a bridge to the Fiji, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Malik Willis, not a Fiji water, but not yet. Could be. I'd say he's more Ice Mountain right now.
Ice Mountain.
Goff is for sure Dasani.
He's more Ice Mountain.
Yeah.
He's that one in the Speedway.
Yeah.
You know, that comes with the little flip top.
Yes.
That's only 99 cents.
Yeah, it's like 2 for $1.
Yeah, like the Evian is like $4 for the 20-ounce one. Goff is the no-name brand one with the little sport cap on the top that's like 99 cents for like 48 ounces.
With the flip cap?
The one you always buy when you're really thirsty.
The one in the milk jug.
And it's 99 cents.
Yes.
Oh, man, here we go. Jake Wagoner, I wish Malik all the best. I didn't think quarterback was a play this year.
That's fair.
Here we go.
Yeah, you suck. You won.
You guys won.
Yeah, we're back.
I fought the good fight. I'm just waiting for it to be 1 o'clock.
I'm just waiting.
103.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for it to be week 4 and Malik Willis has 3 dubs under his belt.
Steve Brown says, "Damn, Neal doesn't miss a beat." Tammy says, "That's what you call a transition." The Planet Fitness getting a lot of love. I guess, and we can close out the YouTube chat poll. As a Detroit fan, are you rooting for the Boston Celtics? 72% of you say no. That does my heart good.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better. I thought it was going to be a little more even than that. Did Sam Flannel dig a deeper grave? Because on one hand, I feel as though, because some people brought it up in the thread, they said, now he's a borderline Hall of Famer. Did he dig a deeper grave? Yes or no?
I think he's chipping away at some people. I think so. I think there's a little bit of that.
We did notice there were...
He was actually complimenting him, though, right?
But there's a few that agreed with him.
Yeah.
And then there's a few that said, I notice he's borderline Hall of Famer to Sam Flannel now. So I'm wondering, once you get past the initial emotion of the moment, and you can take it in and what happened.
Right.
Did Sam Flannel dig a deeper grave today? I don't think that he did.
You putting that on the YouTube chat thread?
I did, just now, yeah.
And I think a very important point to this is Sam yesterday coming out and saying that, admitting he's not from Michigan. So you have to understand he's going up against everybody that has seen and watched Ben Wallace. We have so much ties to Ben Wallace. But again, if you're saying someone's a borderline Hall of Famer, I feel like that argument's allowed at that point. Like if you're creeping to borderline, like you can have a discussion.
And he says, "Yeah, we romanticize things from Detroit," and we do. And I personally will say I do. I've told this story before about how I, come from humble means, and my dad was a mailman. He used to get tickets on his route 2 rows behind the Pistons bench in the early 2000s, and I would go there and I would see Ben Wallace going up against these giants.
Yeah.
I saw Shaq and Kobe. I was like 4 feet away from Shaq Diesel, and I was like, good Lord, this man is massive. And then Ben Wallace is out there banging with him. And I just, it's hard not to get emotionally invested and stuff like that, because it's like David versus Goliath in the literal sense. Like, this guy should not be holding up as well as he can against Shaq, against Yao Ming, against all these guys, and he's out there banging with them. And
You've never seen something like that.
Never seen it
especially here. I mean, that's just at the time.
Chef Chris Smith says, hey, Sam, 97.1 wants her take back. Man, people coming after 97.1 today. Jesus.
Strays.
Lewis M. And Fish, you can speak to this, Fish. So does this mean now we get cricket updates with Fish from now on?
I mean, there is a test match going on right now that I'm watching. So, I don't know.
On a clay court.
You guys pick. Well, it's on grass, but...
Okay. Anyway, Jack Harrington, I thought Neal was going to include my take about Mountain West football being trash and the bad takes. Oh, it's duly noted, Jack. Just wait till we roll it back around and we get back to football season, and I'm getting everybody right at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Yep.
Anyone who thinks that Mountain West football is trash, I have a core rooted difference with.
I feel like you have receipts too. Like I feel like, and you're checking it twice. You're coming back for these people, man.
We're not doing that.
Watch what you say.
People are saying that you should get a Lions with a Goff number that says should have been Willis on the back of it. Can we arrange that?
I kind of want to do that. Like, I don't have a Lions jersey because I promised myself that I wouldn't buy a Lions jersey until they're a competent franchise, and so I was thinking, like, I kind of wanted to buy a Penny Sewell jersey, but I don't know.
That's the one that you could buy and expect him to be here for a long, long time. So Penny Sewell would be a great jersey.
That's the only Detroit sports team I don't have a jersey for, though, is the Lions. Huh. And they're probably the one I love the most.
Yeah, me too.
Detroit Dabber says, how do you not romanticize an undrafted player shutting down Shaq and beating Shaq for a championship?
Exactly.
It's the storyline.
That's a very Detroit story.
It endears you to a city, and he was endeared to this, and the fact that he wasn't really that great anywhere else he went. Like, when he went to Chicago, he wasn't good, and then he came back and he was pretty good again. Like, his second tour with the Pistons, he was solid. He wasn't 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Ben Wallace, but he wasn't Chicago Ben Wallace. He was playing well.
Chuck says, if Sam's take on Ben didn't also include that Draymond is a surefire Hall of Famer, I'd not have been so negative.
Yeah, he kind of sprinkled that on top, didn't he? He kind of said, Draymond's a Hall of Famer, but then Ben might not be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Or he says he expects him to if Draymond is a Hall of Famer. So, Sam, I just give you credit. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect anybody, and this goes to Easy as well. If you're willing to die on the hill you're fighting on, go ahead. And I love watching, so keep doing it.
Yeah. MSU Detroit fan, Boise State in the Mountain West. So why is the Mountain West bad? Is it because of Brady Hoke? There's a good probability. There's a good probability of that. Just final couple seconds of this, and we will get to some relevant sports topics before the show is through. I trust you, but I want everyone to speak their piece on this, because Sam, if you're just joining us, if you're late, Sam Flannel has been
Let go
by Big D Energy. He will be transitioning to the bottom line from 2 to 4 with Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards.
And Maz. Don't forget Maz.
And Maz, of course. Of course, Maz is my guy. But that's where he will be washing up to, because he's no longer here. We got Fish here again. So, he'll be over in the audio booth watching clay court tennis and stuff like that.
You're missing a great match, by the way. It's the semifinals. Nadal Zverev. How do you not?
Very easily.
2 of the best tennis players, arguably Zverev of all time. He's an up-and-comer. Nadal is one of the best of all time. How do you win the same tournament 13 times? He's going to win it 14. Like, no? You guys don't care?
No, nobody cares about tennis.
Nobody cares.
You guys are a bunch of losers. There are a lot of people that care.
Nobody cares about tennis.
Oh, they do. They're out there. You just got to find them.
That's the key. You just got to find them.
YouTube chat poll, did Sam Flannel dig a deeper grave? 72% of you say yes, he did. Okay, so let's take it to the streets. Do you care about tennis?
Yeah. This is going to be the easiest poll we've ever done.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Now, I will say this. I don't watch all the other tournaments. I really just watch the majors. So if you just watch the majors,
No, you can't walk it back.
No,
you said
but-
tennis was awesome. Those were
Well,
your
no,
words.
tennis is awesome. It is
I love the way you
awesome.
do this. I love the way, Fish, you say, you claim something, then you tell me to look it up. Then you tell me something's awesome, then you say I don't watch it.
No. But I'm telling you that if people in the chat say they just watch the majors, that's fine. I watch the other tournaments sometimes.
Fish,
I
people
mainly
in the
just
chat
watch the
leave
majors.
when we talk about the Tigers. Nobody's going to stay when we talk about tennis. Like,
If we
Well,
talk
they
about
should.
tennis, it'll
If
just
they're
be us
smart.
four.
I like tennis. I played it as a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't care about what's going on at the French Opening right
Well,
the French
you
Open
should.
right now.
You're not a tennis fan.
There's layers to that.
No, there is not.
If I started getting into it, we could literally watch the people sign off of the
we already
YouTube
are.
channel.
We've since like tennis was said once, we've lost like 40 people.
No doubt. Chef Chris Smith says, can't wait for the Get Right specials. He also says, stop it, Fish.
Well, I mean, I can't help you there.
Fish, can you say something like, I don't know, like say Joe Dumars was a liability to the Pistons and not an asset, so we can get you out of here too, man. If you're going to be up here, talking about that.
I've been waiting. I'm still on the morning show. I don't know how. Waiting for the day.
Yeah, CJ Schneider says people leave when we talk hockey. LOL.
Exactly.
Donovan Strong says tennis is cool. I don't watch it, but my future kids will play it. Tennis players
That's a good point.
make bank. Co-opzilla says there needs to be a hell no option in that poll. Yeah, it's funny. Right out of the chute, do you care about tennis? 75% of you
Now,
say no.
I bet you if
don't.
they had a Detroit tournament, people would change their mind. Just saying, if they had Detroit, just like golf. When golf comes to Detroit, you notice it all flips. People are like, "Oh, I love golf" for that one weekend.
Let me tell you
notice
about
that.
something people should care about. The Sports Marketing Agency, because they help spread awareness about mental health and substance use disorder. Their new podcast called This is the F Word helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that are plaguing our communities. This is important, guys. If you're struggling or you know someone who is, go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all your game day betting needs. Begin your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com. You get play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. All you got to do is download the OddsTrader app from the App Store. This is probably the most important feature of it. They can find you the best price on every game and multiple sign-up offers from all the different sports books that are out there. Use oddstrader.com. Player stats, key game stats, all available at oddstrader.com. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We got Jeff Iafrate in for D-Mac. We got Fish, who is now a permanent fixture here with the banning of Sam Flannel after that whole nonsense that went on. We got Spencer Raxter, and happy to have you all with us. Johnny says, how about we talk pickleball now? You got any thoughts, Fish?
I mean, I've watched pickleball. It's fine. It's more, I might get flamed for this too, it's more of an old people sport. I mean, you don't see a lot of young people play pickleball.
That's fair.
MSU Detroit fan, tennis, I saved that for Wii Sports. It did have a bit of a, I guess, a renaissance when the Wii Sports game came out. People messed with tennis pretty heavy on Wii, didn't they?
They have another Wii game on the Nintendo Switch now.
Mario Tennis is fun.
See?
Mario Tennis is fun.
I will never watch a tennis match, though.
Right.
You watched one today. We got you hooked.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No.
Anyway, since Jeff is here, and I said it, he's a big-time basketball mind out there. Scott Klingler says, Neal and Jeff, I hate the steal that happened to Isaiah, but Boston, I think, has the all-around better team. And that could be the case, but I still hate them and don't want them to win.
And that's also fair.
I don't care if they were 82-0 in the regular season. I don't care. I don't want them to win. I did want to get your take. And earlier this week, we talked to our guy Bryce Simon of the Pistons Pulse podcast, and we kind of broke down the draft a little bit and what the Pistons, what they will do, what they should do, what they could do, all of that stuff. So Jeff, I do want to run it back with you real quick because I'm kind of taking in all the information. But where are you sitting right now with the Pistons and the draft situation and what you think they should do?
The more and more I read reports, I feel like Jaden Ivey's going to be gone before 5. Something tells me some team is going to trade up to Sacramento and attempt to get him. And if that happens, guys, let's be honest. I've been saying this since the start of this whole process. I want an elite scorer next to Cade Cunningham. That's what I see in the backcourt. And I see, if you look at the options besides Jaden Ivey, to me, that's
I thought you said you wanted an elite scorer.
Shaden Sharp. That's my elite scorer, or can be an elite scorer. I think Ben Mathurin, someone that Bryce Simon's high on, that's an option. I just think the upside of a guy like Shaden Sharp is just tremendously better than Ben Mathurin, and I'll explain why. I'm a guy who likes to swing for the fences, especially at number 5. You already got the hard part out of the way. You picked Cade Cunningham. You got it right. Now this year, you have the number 5 overall pick. Let's be honest, you're not making the playoffs next year. Sorry to break it to you, but you have time to develop whoever this pick is. You don't need to go and reach for Keegan Murray because it's safe. I get it. But again, I want to swing for the fences. I want the best player at that position. If Jaden Ivey's gone, because that's who the consensus, you've seen the poll, the consensus of Pistons fans want, Shaden Sharp's the guy. And in that case, I would be excited. You have a guy who, and I'm a big, who are you when your shot's not falling? I've always said that. And with Shaden Sharp, if the shot's not falling, listen, the interview process is going to be very important because you have to get the feel for these guys. And if Troy Weaver, it was reported that he was at Shaden Sharp's workout in Chicago. So if Troy Weaver likes the person, because he did say it himself, we draft the person, not the player. That's big. So if Shaden checks those boxes, on the basketball court, to me, he checks a lot of boxes. 6'6", unofficial 49-inch vert with a 7-foot wingspan. I'll take that. I'll take that. And he's 2 years younger than both of the other players available. So people talk about all the time, Terry Foster's a big one. It's hard enough to bring free agents to Detroit. So you have to roll the dice. You got to go out and get a player that can be that guy. And I think Shaden Sharp can be that guy. So like Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. In this case, it isn't. You reach higher than that. Go get Shaden Sharp.
Gary Lewis says, I stand Ben Mathurin, back the A, hashtag back the A. Donovan Strong says Ben Mathurin will be a sleeper in this draft. And that's where I am. Big Play J says, please no Murray. And I'm also with that as well. And look, you guys know my thoughts on Jaden Ivey have been well documented out here. I want something elite other than he can get to the rim elite. Like that but that's all I ever get, Jeff.
Yeah.
So let me put you through the ringer on this then. Sell me on Jaden Ivey. And my rebuttal to you is I want somebody who is elite at the ball that's involved in some fashion with the ball going through the net. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how it gets to the paint or anything like that. Elite distributor, elite scorer, elite shooter, something elite that involves the ball passing through the net.
And I think with Jaden, it's a great point. And I think with Jaden Ivey, what I can tell you is, and Easy talks about him needing the ball. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think all good players need the ball. That's the obvious. But with Jaden Ivey, you saw him improve tremendously from his freshman to sophomore year. He's constantly getting better. You saw him at his pro day, had a workout. He was lights out from 3. So I think he can be an option for the Pistons. But to your point, I feel the exact same way. Give me a guy who can put the ball in the basket. We have our leader, our general on the floor in Cade Cunningham. You have Killian Hayes who can also handle the ball coming off the bench. I just need a guy who can put the ball in the hoop. And I think that's Shaden Sharp. I think Jaden Ivey is going to bring a lot more to his game. Certainly he will excel with the ball in his hands. But I think Shaden Sharp and even Ben Mathurin, 2 guys that don't necessarily need the ball but can still go out and score points. So, I mean, to your point, Neal, I kind of am leaning away from Jaden Ivey. If I had to choose, it's still Shaedon Sharpe, but I could see why people would be so enamored by Jaden Ivey. Just the highlights and how electric he is, I get it. But if we're talking putting the ball in the hoop, I'll go with Shaedon Sharpe.
Because that's how they keep score.
Exactly. That's how.
Right?
Yeah. You don't need. This isn't drafting a franchise point guard. If we didn't have Cade Cunningham, I would throw out Jaden Ivey. Go get Jaden Ivey. But again, we have Cade Cunningham. So go get me someone who can score at a high level and has a tremendous upside. In a backcourt, I see Shaedon Sharpe or Ben Mathurin.
People are talking about this in the YouTube chat thread, and this has got a lot of run as of late. And you hear these scenarios that come out there, the trade scenarios and the Portland stuff and the Sacramento stuff and all the stuff that's out there. For me, I am more interested because Jeremy Grant, to me, is an asset at $30 million a year. In a world where DeAndre Ayton is going to get 35 to 40 million, super rookie eligible max, contract. To me, financially, where Jeremy Grant fits makes him more valuable. And you guys know this may shock some of you as the 180 about rookie contract draft capital guy. I'm not so much just generally rookie contract guy. I'm value contract guy because that's how you win. You get more guys producing above their salary than you do producing below their salary.
Right.
Those guys are good to have. When it's inverted, those are not good guys to have. Just trying to keep it simple so we can all follow along here. But this Portland trading Jeremy Grant to Portland for the 7th pick, that does nothing for me. Nothing for me. Am I crazy?
You have to explain yourself. What do you mean it does nothing for you?
For who? Like, give me the who.
On that, it would have to be. It's hard to just predict who will be there. But again,
so you've lost me.
Jalen Duren, Ben Mathurin. I think those are two guys that are going to be there. It just depends where this team wants to go. How good do they want to be? How quick? Because if you keep Jeremy Grant, let's say you go out, you take a Jaden Ivey, and then you go out and sign DeAndre Ayton. That looks like a pretty good team. But if you trade Jeremy Grant away for the 7th overall pick and you take 2 rookies this year, now you have a team, a majority of them are 20 to 23-year-olds. So now you've kind of let us know what direction you want to head into. So I don't think you're crazy by saying it. Certainly if you want the Pistons to get there quicker, keeping Jeremy Grant would be ideal because where else will you trade him? I think Portland is the best trade. I don't see another situation you can deal Jeremy and get better than the number 7th overall pick. I just don't see it. Certainly not a sign and trade with DeAndre Ayton, to Spencer's point. I don't want to see any of that happening either, so we'll pass on that.
No, we'll discuss that in a second. Rob J says Grant is worthless. See, I disagree because the guy puts the ball in the net.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 6'9", he can switch multiple positions. Every contending team wants Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you guys. And he's making $20 million. Sorry to break it to you again. That's affordable talent. That's a starter. That's why the Portland Trailblazers are so high on him, and other teams as well. So to say he's worthless, I think people just have this sense of nightmares. They look back on this season and they look at a bad team with Jeremy Grant leading them in scoring for half the season, and they shrivel. They hate the thought of it. I'll break it to you guys. Jeremy Grant on a good team, they'll love him because if you're winning, Jeremy Grant's the guy you want. I'm sorry. That's just how it works.
Yeah, it's just, for me, Shad 216JF, 5 and 7 could get you Sharpe and Duren. And I'm not. For them to be what? 20-point-a-game guys? Is that the goal?
I think Jalen Duren would be solid, but again, like to your point, I think I'd feel better taking Sharpe if you had 2 picks, because then you feel more comfortable. If you just take Sharpe only in the first round, it's tough to handle. What's up, Spencer?
And I was just gonna say, I think if we get 7, we take Sharpe at 5. That means 2 of either Keegan Murray, Ben Mathurin, or AJ Griffin are gonna be there at 7, right. And I think adding them to our team definitely improves. If we can trade Jeremy Grant, get the 7th pick, and end up with Shaedon Sharpe and Benedict Mathurin, I would be extremely happy. Like I think that would be great. I think Ben Mathurin can fill the Jeremy Grant role where he's that guy that's going to be able to switch on defense.
I think we're being a little dismissive about a 20-point-a-game guy.
No, I don't.
Like, we're getting really blasé.
I like him. I think he's a good fit, but he's not going to be, your number 1 or your number 2 on a winning team, and I don't think Ben Mathurin will be either. Ben Mathurin thinks he will be. He thinks he's going to be the best player in the NBA in 5 years. But I think if you can get younger,
on rookie contracts,
on a rookie contract,
Neal knows about those.
Get even younger of a guy that could produce at the same caliber I would like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, I do keep going back and forth on it. I will say that, because I do see the sides of it. It's just, for me, again, now that it's numbers dictated. Let me ask everybody this then. For all the people that have this quote unquote hate for Jeremy Grant, I would ask you, are you prepared? And I know age is a thing right now. Are you feeling better? And I'll ask you guys this: do you feel better about Grant at $30-ish million or DeAndre Ayton at $35 to $38-ish million?
Well, you know that answer. I'll agree with you there. It's Grant. I mean, I think if DeAndre Ayton could give me 25 and 10, I would pick DeAndre Ayton. I just don't I just don't know if he could take that next step. 18 and 10 for $35 million. I mean, that's
when you can't do it from the perimeter.
Right.
And that's the other angle of the. And I'm not I'm not comparing the two. I understand he's good 29 or going to be 29.
Right.
But these, you know how these things work. These are 4-year deals. We're not talking about like a 10-year deal for Jeremy Grant either. I just think that he at $30 million does more for me than stepping up to the crap table with the number 7 pick and shake him up, shake him up, shake him up, shake him. You know, like that. You know.
No, yeah.
I mean, granted, you could roll them in a circle of homies and watch me break them. Like, you could do that. Yeah. But chances are you're not going to, unless you are Ice Cube.
I mean, I like Jeremy Grant. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player for the modern NBA. He's a great player for the Pistons role, for what we need, you know, and like Jeff said, every good team wants that guy. They want a guy that can guard 1 through 4, that can go out there. He can handle the ball. He can take the ball up the court. He can make open shots. What I don't like about Jeremy Grant is that I think he has in this mindset of that he's trying to be that alpha still. He's trying to be that guy still. And we saw it once he started playing with Cade Moore, because they had the offsetting injuries, so they didn't start the season together. They didn't play together for a while, and he started accepting it towards the end of the game or end of the year. But he needs to realize that this isn't his team. This is Cade Cunningham's team. He needs to stop doing these possessions where he's backing down and shooting fadeaway long twos. Like, that's not what we need out of you, Jeremy Grant. We need you to play defense, rim run, and hit open threes. Like, we don't need a back down long two shooter.
To his defense, though, I will say this. He was brought here on a talentless team. His first season, he had to do everything. So it's hard to tell a player to dial back, of course. But with Jeremy, you're absolutely right. And you saw it in the middle of the season, the tide kind of turned. Mm-hmm. Jeremy take less shots. And I'm most interested. That's why I don't have a problem if they don't trade him, because I want to see, you know, if they do draft a Shaedon Sharpe or Jaden Ivey, whoever it may be, I want to see Grant with these guys. And I want to see what approach, like you said, if he still leads the team in shots, I think we all mutually agree he needs to go. But if he can accept the role, I mean, to Neal's point, he is a valuable 6'9", who can guard 1 through 5. I think a lot of teams would sign up for that.
Definitely.
What do I talk about? What is the NBA now?
Positionless.
Give me my 5 athletes, and I'll figure it out. Wherever the advantage is, that's where we'll go. Yeah. And I think last night's game was a good example of that. Mm-hmm. As the 5 on the floor changed, the matchups changed. As the matchups changed, ... you saw ebbs and flows in the basketball game.
You got Daniel Tice banging threes.
Otto Porter.
That one was laughable.
I couldn't believe that.
Let me tell you something I can believe. Gypsy Vodka's the Mulligan. That's right. You can believe that. It's the official drink of summer. The Mulligan is made with Gypsy Vodka. Of course, when you're out and about on the golf course or hanging out in the backyard over Spencer's house, whatever you're doing, the Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or pick it up at a Total Wine store near you. It's the Mulligan with Gypsy Vodka in it. As always, drink responsibly.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach fresh, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
For the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, you know it, you've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple things you could do: host your corporate party, team building event, or just come with your family and friends, have a good time. 2 different ways you can play it. They got $12 open unlimited play. You stay there open till close, day till night, throw your arm off, or they have private lane reservations. $120, 10 to 12 people, get your own lane. You can bring in your own food. They don't care. You thirsty? They got the $2 mystery beer vending machine. You put in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down and check them out in Hamtramck at the Fulling Warehouse, or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from the Planet Fitness Studios. My name is Neal Ruhl. We got Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC today. We got Spencer Raxter. We've had Sam. We've heard from Sam Flannel today. We've done it all. It's been an active first hour plus of the show as we come down the stretch here on a Friday. We're talking some NBA basketball. You guys seem to have an appetite for it, so we're chopping it up right now. AC in our YouTube chat thread says, Jeff, would you pay Marvin Bagley?
I would. I think given the it depends how much. That's number one. But number two, I think given the circumstances, given that Troy Weaver's repeatedly said this team needs talent, there's talent right there. I think you can get him for a relatively cheap deal given the injury history, given what happened in Sacramento. So yes, absolutely. You saw what happened to Cade as soon as he got here. Made him much better. So whether it's off the bench, whether it's starting, I think will be a good piece for the Pistons. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, it's I think it's big too, when you look at the options that you have with Marvin Bagley and what they present, because he's a guy that certainly is interesting. He's got a qualifying offer, like $7.2 million next year. Obviously, he's going to get way more than that, but that's the qualifying offer that he has. So, again, depending on the number. I mean, what do you see that number, though? Because the Pistons as a whole, like with the team and where they sit, they are in a very financially advantageous position. Certainly this year, really next year. Now, the only yin to the yang with that for me is, and this is something I talk about with my friends a lot, you are one of the few that has a cap space this year. You are one of many that has cap space next year.
Yep.
So your competition is a little smaller this year than it will be next year. And I think if they are in on Marvin Bagley, you have to go accordingly because you do have the money to spend, but it's going to be a much more competitive market in the very near future.
And that certainly gives them an advantage. I've been saying this. I would expect anywhere between, I think the bottom would be $10 million. I think he's going to make minimum $10 million a year. I don't think the ceiling's that much higher, to be honest. I could see a deal getting done 3 for 33, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't see them spending, any more than 15 or any more than that $1 million on him. I think the Pistons have, a lot of advantages going into these conversations because, like you just said, look around, who has money? And realistically, who's willing to pay Marvin Bagley $15 to $20 million a year? Nobody. So they'll be able to get a deal on him, certainly. I think he wants to be in Detroit, and that also has to do with it. It's a big reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew says, if Bagley makes Cade happy, sign him. And there is,
fact.
And people haven't talked about that.
That's how it works now. You got a franchise player.
Yeah.
That's what I said that on heavyweights, is that I don't want to, put too much emphasis in it, but I wouldn't mind our 3-man interviewing team for potential draft picks being Troy Weaver, Dwayne Casey, and Cade Cunningham. I don't want Cade to be the LeBron where he's like, you pick this guy or you pick that guy. But he should have a say in it, how he meshes with this guy, how he feels, because he's the franchise. Like I said it before, he's the best player the Pistons have drafted since Isaiah Thomas. This is our franchise player. This is the guy who should be on our roster for the next 20 years. And you should do everything you can to make him happy, to surround him with guys that he wants to play with.
It's a great point. And I agree with you. I think a lot of it has to do, now you have a franchise player, and we haven't had this, Andre Drummond. With Cade Cunningham, it's different. Things are different. And you have to approach him, and this is the same thing. It's across. I mean, this is why Anthony Davis left New Orleans. I mean, this is what happens. When stars get older, their mindset changes, and their goals become a lot clearer, and they want to win. So if you can't surround Cade Cunningham with a winner, and Terry brought this up as well in the morning show, there's always that chance. I don't know how big of a chance, but there's always a chance that Cade's going to look around, especially if free agency comes, and he's going to weigh his options. But if you're continuing to make him happy in a city that he wants to win in, it'll all work itself out. So makes you excited for as a Pistons fan.
Johnny says 20 days to the NBA draft, and that is true. And we'll obviously get deep. We'll geek out a couple times on it before it all comes to fruition. We'll certainly sit down and we will geek out on it from time to time. What about Dwayne Casey? Because he came here and took the job. He knew what he was walking into. He's a vet. He knew what the situation was here. Mm-hmm. Troy Weaver knew what the situation was here. And Troy Weaver and Brad Holmes have very similar assignments in my mind, where when he showed up, not only was it the talent issue, it's the financial issue. Mm-hmm. Remember, this team just got done paying Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Just got done. When the season ended this year, that's when Blake Griffin finally came off. They paid him $30 million this year, everybody. Mm-hmm. Remember that. That's what he was walking into. So, I mean, through all that, and look, there's obviously pressure on the general managers. Certainly, as you reconstruct things financially, like Troy Weaver's doing here with the Pistons, there's tremendous pressure because what's the biggest way to do that? Hit on draft picks. Duh. What about Dwayne Casey? Because I feel, look, when the team wasn't good this year to start, and I believe we've gotten ahead of ourselves, and I'm guilty of it. And when I say we, I say me, because I did this with the Red Wings this year. When it was January and they were a couple points back of the playoff spot, I said, all right, they got this game against Boston. Let's see how it goes. And Boston cooked them, and then they crumbled and fell apart.
Yeah.
And I was upset by that. And I know a lot of people are upset about what happened with the Tigers this year. And I know people were upset with what happened with the Pistons. And I saw Dwayne Casey kind of catching, some heat about that. I mean, for me, Dwayne Casey's the least of your problems, in my mind.
And you're spot on. I think Troy Weaver knows that as well. I believe he believes this as well. I think Dwayne Casey's the best coach for the situation. You need someone that can develop players, someone that can teach young guys how to play the right way. People forget Dwayne Casey, former coach of the year. And if it wasn't for LeBron, he probably would have made a finals appearance. But that's another conversation to have. I think with Dwayne, if I have to give you what my heart's telling me, I feel like Dwayne's going to be out of here in a couple of years, and not fired, I mean retired. I think he's going to just be done, and that's going to be a time when the shift comes and the pressure comes on getting the next head coach, because once you get that next head coach, it's time to roll. Let's get this thing going. So with Dwayne Casey, to your point, he has the least amount of pressure, guys. I mean, look at what he walked into. It was a roster that was already being picked apart. You had Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, and the whole gang, Andre Drummond. That was not a winning roster. You guys know that as well. So with Dwayne, I think he's been doing a good job. The one thing I'm judging Dwayne on isn't the wins and losses. Yes, that's part of it. But it's how these guys are developing and getting better. And as long as that's happening, Dwayne, you're good with me. So I'm not too worried about it. Again, this isn't the Red Wings are at a different part right now. They just fired Jeff Blashill. Now they're looking for that next step. The Pistons aren't there yet. They aren't. And to your point, that's Troy Weaver said. There's no coach on the planet that is better to put in this situation than Dwayne Casey, because that's what he's known to do, is develop young talent. Look what he did in Toronto with Pascal Siakam, with OG Anunoby, with Fred VanVleet, with these guys that nobody was very high of. He came in, he made these guys all-stars or serviceable players. OG Anunoby had a great year last year. Fred VanVleet got paid and was an all-star. Pascal Siakam looks like he's going to be a perennial all-star. And if Dwayne Casey can do this, and we already see this. We see this in Saddiq Bey scoring 50 points. If you expect that. You told somebody, Saddiq Bey is going to go out there and have a 50-point night a couple years ago, they said, you're stupid, not going to happen. But Dwayne Casey gets in these guys' mind. I'm excited to see how he molds Cade even more. And then
we follow the Toronto game plan, where once you have these guys,
please refer to
out,
it properly. It's Toronto on this show.
Toronto game plan is once you have these guys filled out, ready to go, you go out, grab a piece, bring it over, get a coach that can push you over the edge, get a Nick Nurse, get somebody like that will be that driving factor to win a championship. Right now, we're in the infantile stages of that. We're still in the grooming and building stages. So I love Dwayne Casey.
Dab Daddy.
Players love him too.
Dab Daddy says, can we please talk Lions or I'm out, sadly. Well, Dab, don't go. We'll do this for you when we come back. No, there is a Lions topic that I do want to do. We got to talk some football at some point. But not before Jeff Iafrate, with that luscious hair of his, tells you his secret.
Well, my secret is right across there. And you can't see it, but it's Lady Jane's. And as you guys know, we broadcast live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Birmingham. And I'll tell you, this personally is awesome for me to get off the air, get my flow taken care of, and I can come back and be right on spot. So they're open 7 days a week, 10 to 8 is the time. Walk in anytime, relax, watch your favorite team play on the TVs. I'm watching it right now as we do this show. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in the house. We got the usual cast of characters here with us as well, including all of you. Tap in on the YouTube chat thread as you guys have been doing. Appreciate all the interaction and you guys putting your thoughts out there as well. Speaking of the YouTube chat thread, Semi-Chef Golf says, think the Tigers can go to Yankee Stadium and win 2 in a row? No. Garrett Cole's pitching tonight. No, I do not.
That's a tall hill to climb.
Yeah, absolutely. The Yankees, I think, minus 330 in the game here tonight. But somebody said they want to talk football. I want to talk some football too.
Let's do it.
The NFL power rankings are out. We love us some power rankings. Who doesn't love some power rankings? Well, they're out. Where are the Lions?
Was that 20th?
Number 20, right in front of the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
The Arizona Cardinals. The Washington Commanders a little bit down that list as well. And then the people that you would think. And hey, guys, we get to that point of the season where as summer begins to approach, hopium it has a very high street value around here. We will say that. It certainly does. Are we comfortable with that? Like, where's everybody feeling with that? The Colts thing is a little egregious, a little reckless, I think.
I was just going to say, what kind of surprises me, too, is Seattle at 25 ahead of the Commanders. I mean, do people forget who's quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks now? It's Drew Lock. So a lot of things questionable about this list, but I will say hopium is flowing through the air. I can smell it now.
Yeah.
At 20, I mean, I do expect them to have a minimum of 7 wins, but to say they're above the Colts, who are a roster ready to win, I'm talking about win now, make the playoffs right now, I just don't think that's...
And the Colts got Matt Ryan. Like, I think that's an improvement over Carson Wentz. So I don't...
And the running game seems to be okay.
Yeah, I was going to say,
sure.
I mean, people forget.
Quentin Nelson could be the most important player in the National Football League.
And defensively.
Darius Leonard could be the most important player defensively.
Didn't they just trade for Ngagwe? So they're getting better. I mean...
I didn't understand the Colts hate. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
But, I mean, are we comfortable with that? It's just... I ease into this stuff, right? Like, are they going to be better? Yeah, they're going to be better for all the factors we talked about. They have a top 5 I believe that's an ironclad statement, top 5. Some people saying top 3 offensive line in football. I buy the hype on that. That's real. That is real to me. Assuming they stay healthy, they'll play all season. They will be better just by default, just because all those guys will be on the field. But for me, it keeps coming back to I have to ease into this, because when you start putting the Lions above the Colts, and by the way, has anybody in the history of anything, not just sports, anything politically, movie stars, anybody anywhere, has anybody fallen further faster than the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, I know. Went from undefeated to bottom of the power rankings.
The Lions destroyed their franchise when they beat them.
Yeah, that's shell-shocking. I mean, it is what it is. Easy's in the chat, and I want to get Easy's opinion. The Colts are ranked behind the Lions. Is Matt Ryan making the list of quarterbacks who will choke up a game? Is he on there?
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying, like Easy said, Matt Ryan is average AF. And, yeah, he is. I'm not saying Matt Ryan is a great quarterback, but he's better than Carson Wentz.
Yeah. He was won a league MVP in the past.
Yeah, won MVP, made it to the
Leave
Super
it to
Bowl.
Easy to say a guy who won the MVP of the league is average AF.
I mean, Matt Ryan is pretty average. He's middle of the road quarterback. But there's seasons where you don't even look at it, and Matt Ryan's top 5 in yards and touchdowns. And it's
magically, he always ends up there.
Yeah,
magically, not bad for an average AF guy.
A lot better. And their wide receiver core isn't the greatest. I personally like Michael Pittman a lot. I like Michael Pittman a lot. And Pascal is not bad either. So I think they have an improving and budding wide receiver core. And I definitely think Matt Ryan's an improvement over Carson Wentz.
Max Mayer says the Colts are a contender. They have the most all-pro players. And look, I'm not looking to do a deep dive on the Colts, although I guess
Sawyer's not here. We can't.
Yeah. Although I guess technically we did just do that, or we are doing that right now. But I guess, do you buy that idea? Are the Lions in those waters?
I don't think so, because we haven't had a sample size to even give us anything. So it's hard. This is all off hopium, all off expectations. Obviously, the roster being much more healthy, and I could see people saying a minimum of 6-7 wins. I can get with that completely. But once you start creeping into 10, 11. You lost me, and that no shot at Ryan or Monty, but 10 wins to me, I wouldn't be surprised. But if I had to bet money, if there's an over/under, my God, I'm gonna stay below 10.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna stay below 10.
Armani called for them to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I just don't see it. I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to be the best team in the NFC North. And I think the Packers will be second. So what does that leave us?
You're running out of slots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got 2 already.
See, that's it's cool to say, hey, I think they're going to make the playoffs. Give me the road to it.
Yes.
Give me the how.
It's like Fish asking you to do the research. You got to give me the research.
Yeah, and that's what's funny when you start reconstructing it or working backwards on it. You come to the realization, you're like, so boom, right there. I don't think that's a crazy hot take to say the Lions are the 3rd best team in the division.
No.
And I don't think people would fight you. They'd say either you agree or you disagree, but that's not Sam Flannel saying Ben Wallace isn't a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to set social media ablaze. It's just, for me, you get those takes, and I just don't understand the how. Rack in our YouTube chat thread says nobody wants Easy's opinion. LOL. Let's take it to the YouTube poll. Does anyone want Easy's opinion?
We know
yes or no?
I'll vote yes, Easy. He'll get my vote.
I'm going to cancel you out because I'm voting no.
I was going to say, there you go.
So I'll be taking care of your vote.
It'll be a landslide.
Does anyone want it?
Is that what we're doing? BTE? Is that bad take easy instead of BD? Is that what's going on? Does anyone? Oh God! Here we go.
Man, I couldn't vote quick enough.
See, I don't think like Easy and Terry had the same Joe Dumars take, and nobody's roasting Terry about it. It's Easy didn't say Joe Dumars was a bad GM.
Yeah, he just said he was good.
Said he wasn't great.
But I just can't get with that.
I'm riding with my boy.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Heavyweights stick together.
Yeah, I feel that. I just can't get with it. I don't know. I don't like the way that sounds. Joe Dumars was a good GM. I can name a lot of good GMs, but a GM that delivers a championship to a city that, in that position.
That had teal jerseys and nobody at the moment.
And weren't even kind of the conversation. And not only that, 6 Eastern Conference Finals. Are we just going to forget that because they didn't make the finals? I don't know. I'm not going to do that. So
Neal Ruhl's second furnace says that he regrets he has but one vote to give in that poll. So I think we know. I think we know which way that he's going.
It's a 60-40 to Easy's. I don't know if Easy will take that or not. But
Easy says, LMAO, Neal's still mad about getting dunked on last year. LOL. Ryan's reaction says, dunk D's nuts. So.
Yeah, that's a way to say it.
Yeah, so there it is. No, but I don't understand for people like, Ryan Armani, who said it. The 10 wins going to the playoffs, like that whole train. And I know we're getting to that season if we're not there already. I understand that. It's just I'm not comfortable with 20, because for me, again, I go back, we got D-Max clock. We kind of hatched this concept. I just looked at the financials. That's what we kind of based the 34-game clock on, was. Yeah. The two-job theory that I just talked to you about Troy Weaver that he had, that Steve Yzerman walked into. Mm-hmm. This one was just as bad here, if not the worst one of all. Like Trey Flowers, $20 million a year contracts and stuff like that. So that's why. For me, that's it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. They had to clean the addict out. I mean, and he's been doing a good job of doing that. But I just think people, in a way, are setting themselves up to be disappointed because if you think 10 wins, anything, if you get 8 wins, 7 wins, are you disappointed? Because to me, that's still a success. If you're doubling your win total and we're in year 2 of this thing, that's a positive. I just think jumping to 10 wins this quick with this young of a team and a head coach that hasn't proven anything besides getting his players to play hard, which is great, but we got to see some wins in that win column. And I'm not ready to put 10 yet.
On our YouTube chat poll, does anyone want Easy's opinion? Only 51% of you say no, which is stunning. I know that Easy's running around to every computer that's back there in the back right now. Even through the Lady Jane's headquarters, he's going down Woodward, going into every business and signing onto YouTube and voting in it. I know that he's doing that.
Did you see, here, let me find it real fast. Gromit0237 said, like girls go to the bathroom together, heavyweights stick together. And I said, like our thighs in the summer, heavyweights stick together.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's getting musty in this booth, I'll tell you that.
No, that just the whole thing to me is I don't understand this. And the media's going to, guys, I'm telling you this too, get ready for this because the media's going to do it. They all take turns. Everybody takes their turn with the Lions. There's going to be some prominent dude that says Lions are going to go win 11 games and they're going to win a playoff game. Lions are going to win the division. There's always a prominent media guy because they all take turns with it because they want to be the one that says I was right.
Yeah. That's what it is. And I think that's where the 10 wins comes in as well, because if they win 10 games, I told you they were going to win 10 games, but if they don't, we don't really talk about those people, do we? I mean, we just kind of skim over the fact that last year Stick told us they were going to win what? They were going to go 8-9, if I remember correctly, and I respect him for that. But again, you got to be more realistic with these expectations. I get it. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but I'm going to hold them to the fire, and you got to win a minimum of 6 games. That's where I've been, so... And I think it's doable. 10 games, you're setting yourself up to be a little disappointed. Just don't do it.
Michael Luchless says, when Easy replaces Neal, this show is going to be fire. Okay. Rack says he's out there stopping people on the streets of Birmingham and stealing their phones. See, that's the way that it's going. And 53% of you say, oh, this poll shenanigans now, and you know it.
No. People like him. He's the people's champ.
The wild child. I love Easy. I just disagree with things he says. A lot of things he says. But I love him.
That's where I am too.
But I love him.
I've gone and had drinks with him in Birmingham before, and it was sociable, and I enjoyed his company. And we talked about things other than sports.
Right.
We talked about fatherhood and all those kinds of things. And his takes weren't ridiculous, and we just kind of chopped it up, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that time together. Almost as much as I enjoy Cintron, because the summer Cintron is here, and now Cintron is available at your local Kroger store. Right now, you can get 2 Cintrons for $4 to give it a spin. That's all I'm telling you guys. Just go ahead and try it out next time you're rolling through Kroger. Cintron, the official energy drink of the Pistons, of the Red Wings, of Detroit City FC. The list goes on. The new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Cintron. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
My diamonds, it's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We all know Cade should have been Rookie of the Year, but you know the saying, Detroit versus everybody.
Uh-oh, Cunningham all by himself.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Neal Ruhl for Bedrock Detroit. And Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage have basically turned an old parking lot into a massive outdoor playground right next to Campus Martius. There's roller skating, basketball courts, a mini golf course, food trucks, live music performances, art down there as well. You can go down there and get cultured. It's such a fun place to visit, whether you're on a date with the family or hanging out before a Tigers game. They've got Wi-Fi down there, so you can take your computer and work in the heart of the city. So check it out. It's Bedrock Detroit, downtown, right next to Campus Martius. Next time you're downtown, pull up on it. Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in the building. He's in for D-Mac, as you know. And, we got Spencer Raxter here in the house. Jake Wegener, 52% of the votes with that 41% liar shift means only 11% want Easy's opinion. LOL. That's not me saying it, because I'm taking some heat about that.
That's the people. About the people's champ.
Here's an interesting question. I was going to pivot. What if the Lions win 3 games again? Are we getting out the pitchforks?
I don't think people are ready. Who would you... I would assume you would agree, but I don't know. Who are you coming after with the pitchforks? It's Dan Campbell, I'm assuming, right?
Who else could it be?
I wasn't sure. If anybody says Brad Holmes, I'll come after you. I think it's definitely Dan Campbell. They were paired together, and that would be the time. I mean, if Dan Campbell wins 6 games in 2 seasons with a healthy roster, the second season, and Jared Goff, who isn't great, but he can still win you some games, yeah. Lions fans are going to come to Ford Field with the pitchforks. Despite how much we love him as a person, we need results. That's the reality of it. So,
Prag Patel says Easy lost credibility when he started talking about Joe D. Rack says, yeah, we don't talk about the guy that won that drove the 10-win limo. Remember the Lions
Art, right?
limo?
Yeah, you just forget about it, don't we?
Art and Stick, or who was it?
Fish.
It's Fish, Art and Fish.
Yeah.
See, no accountability. And see, when you predict them to win 10 games, poof, it goes out the window.
But
if you hit it, you hit it.
You hit it. Colin Warchell says, I'm listening in the background, but I had to run and vote for my man Easy.
He's got some love.
52% of you say...
so he wins.
What's that?
I'm going to end the poll now so he wins.
Yeah, oh, yeah. See, there you go. Yep. You're stopping... Are you stopping the vote?
Yeah, I'm stopping the vote.
Yeah, stop while you're ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some artwork. I did have this, too, that I wanted to get to, where... And because it's an interesting question. And look, here in Detroit, certainly Jared Goff is a polarizing topic. He has his detractors, that groan you just heard over there. He has his supporters. He has people that kind of just hang out in the middle for it. What's the difference between winning with a quarterback and winning because of a quarterback? And it's a great question. And I know what this is going to turn into. It's going to turn into people just kind of spitting out names, and here's a line where it stops. Mm-hmm. What's the difference?
I think a big one for me is looking at a team and acknowledging that the quarterback is the system. That's big. I mean, if you look at Jared Goff, he's not the system. What's around him, he can excel in the system. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson to an extent, Tom Brady, these great quarterbacks pick apart the roster. They're still going to be productive, and they're still going to get the job done. That's big. And I think with Jared Goff, for example, he's being referred to as a bridge quarterback. You could put Kirk Cousins, whoever you want in that category. Carson Wentz is another one. Those guys, you need to supplement it. You need to surround them with an abundance of talent. And listen, it's hard enough to play quarterback in the league as it is. As Matthew Stafford, he struggled in Detroit, went to the Rams, won the Super Bowl his first year, but I still think he's a quarterback you can win because of. So again, it just depends.
Do you have the list of the guys, Spencer? Like the guys you win because of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know that we had the graphic because I'd be curious to take a. And I'll just go ahead and accelerate the process of where we know this was going because I feel as though that there's a line. And Dan Orlovsky put this tweet out and said the guys you win with right now in the NFL that you win because of: Josh Allen, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Carr, Herbert, Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Matt Stafford. And
that's a good list.
Yeah, it is. And I know like people are going to cherry pick. I'll tell you, speaking of pitchforks, I think Lamar Jackson will be the one that gets the pitchforks here because the chat runs about 15 to 20 seconds behind the show, like in live time.
Yeah.
So get ready for the first Lamar Jackson message to come popping through here in any minute. And look, guys, I know what I said before, that I'm a big Lamar Jackson supporter.
Yeah.
But I am on a rookie deal at $2.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on a $45 million a year contract.
For
like there is a difference.
Who has a career high in passing yards? What is it, 3,500, 3,000, whatever it is. So to your point, he's elusive and he's an incredible talent to watch, and you could win because of him. But once you're paying him, like you said, $40 million, got to give me more substance. Give me more.
Yeah, I mean, there comes a point where you do have to produce on both levels for that kind of money, and I'm wondering about that. Like, who is going to be the one that falls for that? And again, that's going to sound, somebody may clip this and say, Woodward Sports Neal Ruhl hates Lamar Jackson, which is not the case.
No, it's a fair question.
I don't like Lamar Jackson at $45 million a year.
And you hate Michael Brockers and Post Malone.
I do. Yeah, you're right. I do. I don't like Post Malone's fingernails.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's you, too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
You got me on that one.
You got to check those boys out.
I don't know if you heard that show. Where
No.
So you watch the NHL playoffs, you see the Post Malone Jägermeister commercial.
Yeah.
And he's got shots for everybody.
Yep.
I'm not taking a shot from Post Malone.
Why not? Just because of the aura of him?
He's grimy.
You don't know what's in the shot? What?
He's grimy.
Okay. He might smell bad, too. So you got that going for you as well. So
like, I might look like Post Malone, some people think, but trust me, I smell good, and I shower every day.
That's a big one.
And I cut and clean my fingernails.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so there was that. I just had to get Jeff caught up to speed on the whole Post Malone
But to
thing.
your point about Lamar Jackson getting paid $40 million, I think you can make the same argument for Kyler Murray, and people have their disagreements, but are you kidding me, for $50 million? Would any of you be okay with Lamar or Kyler Murray at $50 million? I think majority would say no. But again, I guess it depends who you're asking. Do you want cap space?
Yeah. Gary Lewis says, regarding Easy, the crowd chants, let him speak, let him speak.
Yes.
Oh, man. Koke says, Post seems pretty cool to me. Michael Luchless, this roster will look completely different in 2023. Just wait. Sheila and Brad will be patient. Some fans won't, but that's okay. There might be a degree of both, though, with the way that they've constructed this team. Because, make no mistake, they were taking heat. Brad Holmes was taking heat when they sat out, quote unquote, sat out free agency. That was people's words, not mine.
No, which I
saw
can't
what
believe
the plan
it was.
Yeah, which I saw what the plan was: 1 year deal, 2 years deals, 2024, $100 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
See that we have the ammo to pull off a quarterback situation if we need to. You could see what the plan was. So that's why it's different for me.
Yeah. And I agree with you completely. I mean, you see the process. People get so excited, and I kind of compare it to the Pistons in a way. When you have money available, here come the fans. Spend it. And I understand you're excited to bring in free agents. That's one of my favorite times of any sports during the offseason, during free agency. But you got to understand, there's a different man driving the ship. A different being, a guy that understands things that we just don't understand. So trust these guys. Troy Weaver, Brad Holmes, they're on the right track. And this is why I don't question them. I saw the plan just like you did, Neal. I don't have a problem with it.
Mr. Privy says quarterbacks you win with instead of because of can be summed up as if quarterbacks. A lot of ifs have to go right for them to not cost the team wins. And certainly, here on Mark M says no to Kyler at $50 million and yes to Lamar if it was a 2-year deal in case he got banged up. Well, you can't. You get both of those here on Mark.
Right.
This league is so starved for quarterbacks that somebody will fall for the Lamar Jackson at 45 to 50 million-ish. Just someone will fall for the Kyler Murray at 45 to 50. They will.
Yeah.
Imagine writing your name down on a piece of paper that says 2 years, $100 million. That would be so awesome. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know what I would do, but I would go crazy. I would hit Vegas.
But people do have to get past that. Like, that's kind of my thing where we see that a lot when we're talking about free agents. Like, oh, well, what about a 2-year deal? What about it? Like, no, you have to look at what the market is, man, because that's what it's going to be. Lamar Jacksons and the Kyler Murrays are going $45 million plus.
Yeah.
It's like the T.J. Hawkinson thing, and people will probably laugh at that when I say that. Just like 2 months ago when I talked about the T.J. Hawkinson thing.
Yep.
I said, guys, he's going to be $15+ million a year.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not. We'll get him for 12.
No, it's like what happened with Stafford. Like how we paid Stafford when we paid him $25 million a year. And everybody's like, oh, he's the highest paid quarterback in the league. And then 2 months later, he was like 4th.
And that's at the NBA as well.
Yes.
I mean, people talk about, and I could compare it to Jalen Brunson getting paid. Look at, Van Fleet in Toronto, what he gets paid. Jalen's going to get paid more than him. It's always about jumping, the players that play the same position as you. So anybody saying T. Johnson isn't going to make what, Hooper and Njoku just signed the deal, you're absolutely out of your mind. I mean, that's the reality of it. And think about it from a player's perspective. If I'm up for my contract here and I'm supposed to get paid, you're damn right. I'm going to look at all the opposing tight ends and see what they're making.
I'm better
and
than
judge
that
my
guy.
skill.
Why aren't I getting paid that much money?
And here's the other kicker with it, too. For guys like Hawkinson and Lamar Jackson, this is their first crack at getting paid, setting the foundation.
Generational wealth.
For me, like this first deal, I don't even care, and this is just me. I wouldn't care where I went. I want the most guaranteed money possible. I'll figure out the winning thing later. I'll go pull a Sue and play somewhere for $3.5 million and pick where I go.
Facts.
I feel like that was Tyreek Hill this offseason. He's like, hey, Miami? Okay.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to go to Miami and get a bag and go live in Miami?
What is it, no taxes, man? You're chilling. You're chilling.
Off topic a little bit, but I will guarantee Charles Barkley guarantee that the New York Knicks sign Jalen Brunson and give him a way overpaid contract because that is a James Dolan Knicks move. And I'm a Knicks fan. I like the Knicks. They're my second team.
You heard the Knicks, Spencer.
Really? Yeah. The Knicks are my second team.
Why?
Because Melo was there, and I fell in love with him, and I still keep up with him.
But he's gone.
Oh, and then there were all those big wins that Melo had.
And, scoring title. Made the playoffs, won a playoff series,
that big playoff series win. That's right.
More than the Pistons have won.
That one big playoff series win.
I don't know. I like the Mecca, and Madison
I do want to call a game there.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to sit courtside. That's bucket list. Courtside Knicks game, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
100% bucket list. Like I need to. And my brother lives in New York, so
wasn't Joey there? Joey was at the
Joey went to MSG.
Our guy Abe chiming in. Go Knicks. I think it's a good time to go to commercial right now. Tell him about Guardian Alarm.
Yeah, I will. We'll play defense. Keep the Knicks out. Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you a peace of mind. Wherever you're at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you is safe. Call this number, 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace in mind. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab your cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Chili Peppers tan.
That's right. Chili Peppers Tanning. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans are at Chili Peppers Tanning. Make sure you join the Pepper Club. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can get your unlimited tanning options on as well. Over 26 locations and more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one works for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
We have a special segment, though, for this particular idiotic take. Things you'd rather do than sign and trade for Deandre Ayton.
Yes. My first thing I'd rather do instead of sign and trade for Deandre Ayton is go vegan. I would go vegan before the Pistons sign and trade for Deandre Ayton.
I would rather get a hand job from a crab that has crabs.
That's fair. I said I would rather have sex with a 95-year-old woman than sign and trade for Deandre Ayton.
I'd rather give my ex the time of day than sign and trade for Deandre Ayton.
I'd rather eat a half-chewed donut out of Easy's mouth than sign and trade for Deandre Ayton. I'd rather fill all my Jordans with dog shit and wear them to work every day, 25 pairs of shoes. And I just got a new dog. So I'll go back there barehanded, scoop that shit, throw them in the J's, and wear them to work.
Would you rather sign and trade Deandre Ayton or watch a WNBA season start from finish?
Oh, the Woodward heavyweights. CJ Schneider in our YouTube chat thread. Easy would rather learn how to spell reindeer than sign and trade for Deandre Ayton. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here. We did it somehow. Last segment of the show.
We did.
I'm not going to ask how. I'm just going to be grateful that we did. But
just kept
we
pushing.
Yeah, we did. We fought our way through that. If they sign and trade for Deandre Ayton, can we arrange the donut thing?
Yes.
No. I'm not gonna do that to your Jordans or anything like that. But I want you to be a man of your word and eat.
I said I would rather. No, I would. I'll eat it off his stomach. I don't want to go near his mouth.
What if he chews up a half a donut and puts it out, then you have to eat it?
I can't.
Yes, you do have to. You said you would rather do
I said
that.
I would rather do it. I didn't say I would do it if it happened.
If you didn't, book it for $30 million. Deandre Ayton 4-year deal. So he's a Piston.
So you just wasted everybody's time with that. If there's no action, if there's no accountability, it's just words.
Thing. It was what would you rather do? Not are you going to do it if it happens? I didn't shoot the boot. I'll eat a donut hole off of Easy's foot.
Oh,
if that happens.
Okay.
We can put that in stone.
Unsocked.
Oh, God. Between his toe. Like big toe.
Right after a show where he just spits out the most hottest takes.
Big toe and I don't know what you call your second toe, but between those, I'll eat a donut hole out of Easy's toe if they sign and trade for Deandre Ayton.
All right. We have talked about this internally, and Scott Klingler puts it on the YouTube chat poll. Neal, next week, can we call in? You want to put it on the YouTube chat poll?
Sure.
You guys want to call into the show?
Oh, that would be...
Should we do that? I mean, everyone in this studio is nodding their head. It doesn't matter what we want. It matters what those people want out there. We'll take it to the streets right now. YouTube chat poll. Do you think calls would make the show better? I guess that's the question. And look, I always tell you, I'll let you guys program the show. If you guys come up with better stuff than we came up with, I'm confident enough in myself to admit to that and move on.
But if you guys want to call in, you got to call in.
Yeah.
Because you can't say yes, and then there's crickets at the phone line. So
right. Absolutely.
If you want a challenge, you got a challenge. I think it'd be great.
So, yeah, let's set that up. Clown Sauce says he voted yes. So, we can do it. We can set it up, and we can rock it out and see what everybody says. Doughboy Steve, once a week segment. I kind of like that idea too. Like a second hour Wednesday.
Yeah.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. I do like that. Make it some kind of like exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Ryan's reaction.
Like the exclusive thing.
Would it be funny? Sure. Would it make the show better? No. And see, that's, to be real, that's kind of where I'm hesitant with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys know this. You guys have listened. We've all kind of come through the sports media world. What does more damage to a show than a bad caller?
Oh.
Bad take?
almost as bad as tennis. It's right there.
The tennis killed it.
It's pretty neck and neck.
We got our followers, or we got our listeners
we rescued
back,
it.
though, so
Yeah, we rescued
got
it
back.
So that's. I think that's what we'll do. Clam sauce. Yeah, don't go to the well too much. But if we do this, like if we do end up going this way, I want to have free reign to be able to just hang up on someone.
Oh, you do.
Not be apologetic.
Send him to the gulag.
Not have to be nice about it.
Yeah.
Just say, I can't take listening to you anymore, and hang up the phone.
I can cancel for that.
What? But no, what is it?
Yeah, I mean that's what I want. That's how I would want it to be.
What is Easy talking about right now? Because people are talking about me licking his toes, and somebody said wouldn't be the first time Woodward, or wouldn't be the first Woodward content creator to lick him.
Yeah, Doughboy Steve says, Neal, but we have a lot of fun in the chat.
Licked his elbow.
Okay, Seb.
Right,
his weenus.
Say just to say Woodward content creator to lick me. I mean, that leaves it kind of an open-ended.
You know what he's about. He's all about the clickbait.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started with the clickbait.
You know he is. Spencer Furman, you could always just hang up when you hear a bad take. LOL.
Hey, cool
but I want everyone to understand, like, when you walk in,
yeah,
that could be your fate.
You got to be ready. Cool name, Furman, by the way. Just saying. We got to stick together. There's not too many of us out there.
We do.
Look
Forward tonight, throwing out the first pitch at Jimmy John's Field there in Utica. I'm throwing it submarine style. We'll get the video out on Woodward Sports. I am Dan Quisenberry style. I'm going to fire a strike in there. Jeff, appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate
you pulling on through. Sam Flannel, appreciate you. Fish, Spencer, everybody's takes. For everybody at Woodward Sports and Big D Energy, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Well, see you later.
I'm not fired.